Good evening. It's very late. I've got my evening voice on. It's 11:45. Still on the 19th. Wow. Let's wait for the scribes. For those on the playback, we're going to wait for the scribes and then I shall begin. Patience, please. Wow. I don't know where I'm going to start. I'll have a think while you drop in and say hello. It's almost morning. It's bedtime. Just want to recap. If I wait till the morning, I will forget the key information. I am bringing this to you because the numbers told me to. The numbers. Stargate Continuum is the film from 2008. I have been doing some admin, looking at emails, answering emails, and whilst I've been in the zone, I've had a bit of background noise on. I've got a Chinese top box for Anne-Marie. I'd like to do an unboxing video tomorrow of the apps and the box itself, what it's got on there, the specifications. If you're interested in getting internet television, I've managed to set up Mobdro, Showbox, Popcorn, Terranium TV. It's an Android app that plugs into your TV, so I've just tested it out and I've just watched Stargate Continuum from 2008. If I've got any live scribers now that are Stargate fans or Egyptian, historical, knowledgeable in the Chem, Egypt, Nubian Empire, make yourselves known. At 1 hour and 13 minutes, nearly, it's not bang on, but if you have access to Stargate Continuum, I shit you not, Tilk, I can't go through all the main characters of Stargate. You should know by now, if you're my age and you've been around, then you'll know what Stargate is, the TV series. They made a film 2008. And at 1 hour and 12 minutes and probably 55 seconds, they mentioned the word sovereign with reference to Stargate. Okay, Baal worship is very true, is very real. This is the cult that is at hand, at play with the Club of Rome, B-A-A-L, B-A-A-L, B-A apostrophe A-L as well, B-A and Al. As we've brought to you before with the abracadabra, Abraham, and what was we saying, a part of the Celebrium, Sarah and Abraham, the Phonics, the Phoenicians, the Phoenicians and the fiery Phoenixy, Venetians. This is all important. And then we're talking Stargates. Then we've got symbols of a sun with horns on it. Look at the thumbnail of the chair of where they were sat. Then we've got them saying that the last of the Ghoul, the legal ghouls, Caesar Ghoul, all right. Remember the word ghoul, but this is a G-A-O-U-L or something. This guy who they're going to put to death is Baal, and he's the last of the evil Ghoul race. And what he's done, he's cleverly gone back in time and set something up to save himself from death. Oh, and these Gua'ul are not only evil type Egyptian god type, flying in pyramids in space with fleets of empires, bringing me into the Papal Wars of India. They're symbiotic. They live on a symbiotic relationship. Now who else lives on a symbiotic relationship to man? Equity thieves, the Club of Rome. I shit you not. This film has got too much in it. I've had to go live because at 1 minute and 1 hour and 12 minutes and 55 seconds, they start talking sovereign. There's too much in this film that just worries me. I'm like, wow, Antarctica, Stargates. In 1930 something, this clever little Baal character who's about to be put to death managed to sink a boat. Now, who else went to the expeditions of the South? No, they're at the North. I'm sure it was the North Pole, the Arctic, the Antarctic. Yeah, they're at the Arctic then. who went to the Antarctic in around the times with military boats? Admiral T. Byrd. So I'm like, hang on a minute. How did I miss this Stargate film? I really don't know. But there's a lot of references: submarines, army, Egyptian gods. Well, not an Egyptian god, Baal. It comes from it going back. Research it, and you will see the bull. When they used to, if you've watched any of the remakes of the gods of Egypt or Wrath of the Titans, or there's another one as well, Wrath of the Titans, Immortals. I think it's in Immortals where they show you what they were doing with the sacrifice and putting man into golden bulls, brass metal bulls, closing them up and cooking them alive. The Baal worship with the horned ones is very prevalent in a lot of the artifacts, and the bull worship in itself. We would argue with Santos, and there's astro-theological connections, that we have the bull representing Taurus, zodiac, and the times, as we are in Aquarius now with the pictures coming down. But what gets me is that when we have the hours and the 12 hours in the day, hours contains Horus. Horus was the son of Isis and Osiris. Now Horus, we also have horizon, eyes on the horizon, scribes and family. I shit you not, the Egyptian lineage and things is something to be marveled at. And America's just come out with, there's a book out, I forget the author's name. It's just been heralded because it definitely says, and they agree, the academics, that there's 100,000 years of American history just not recorded or recognised because it's been written out by the academic scholars. So they're saying that man on the Americas alone has been there for 100,000 years, and it's a fact, and it's out there, and the book's being promoted. So bear that in mind. I honestly, Horus, Horizon, Hours, Egyptians, people coming from the Bible there, saying that they went up to the heavens in the chariots of the gods. Certain things are ringing true here, and Hollywood is very good at putting it in these films. So symbiotic relationship, usurping, serpentry, serp rising, our energy. We're all saying that our energy. I don't know if any of the scribes looked at the video Matthew recommended earlier about the Venus Project, and funny, that little Mexican man speaking about how we're all in this way being usurped and used as slaves when we could have it differently. We've got the kingdom of heaven before us, and we cannot enforce our rights and our ways of existential living as we have it now. Existential, X 10, say 10 X. Very interesting. So if you haven't seen Stargate Continuum, let me tell you, it's quite entertaining. It actually distracted me from answering emails at several points. And when it said sovereign, you must protect the sovereign, and it was Tilk that was given the order. The symbology, the moon and the horns, the language, Baal, the year it come out in 2008, the indirect messages that Hollywood puts out, many alarm bells ringing there. When they extract the symbiont from Baal in the end of the film, they've got a special way of doing that. And what happens is there's a little serpent that comes out, and it's dropped on the floor. They smash it to kill it, and the little serpent gives out an eek and dies. And I'm like, wow, it's sci-fi. It's not real, David. But the implications of the subtext of the film are quite stark and harrowing. And the academics have clearly hidden, and the pollution of his story that we've been given is apparent. And there are many, and I am getting confused and flooded with who and what to watch and when to watch it. There are so many excellent speakers and productions, and Anunnaki, Nephilim, not so much the controversy, but the new actual evidence. It's fantastic. So Stargate Continuum has been an excellent little bit of background noise for man, and it's revealed a bit more than I was expecting. I'm quite shocked, like I say, as you can tell. And then with this word sovereign being mentioned, with everything I've given you, for them to say so, they're putting the word sovereign out there to, like in negative ways. There was another film that I brought that had a gold lady in a spaceship that they referenced as the sovereign. Oh, what was that now? I can't think, but sovereign. That's why I'm telling you, it's self-governing and private. That's the key element to all of this. So Hollywood can do what it wants. The machine can program the subconsciousness of the Famalan. We will resist. Our Jedi mind tricks, can take this. We were designed. We are the watchers. We are the thinkers. We are the protectors. We are the doers. We are the energy. We are the vibration. There is a bad, dark vibration in this realm where we are at. And those that can feel it know its presence. And I, for one, know it's a duality. And I feel the good vibes and the bad vibes at the same time. And they come in waves. But sometimes when I meditate and when I've gone deep into my own self, with aids, we'll say, with a little aid to help me along in the holistic realm, I've seen some scary shit. Let me tell you. So there's energies that we see and there's energies that we inwardly project. As Andy and I have said before, what you inwardly project, you outwardly attract, or what you inwardly project, you outwardly manifest. And with that word sovereign coming out of that lady's mouth, or the man's mouth, about the queen that was protecting you, because she's got a queen status. QEE, two vowels there together. What I said about the double vowel words, look at them, they're very particular and concise. And queen referencing as sovereign, so it's a little bit of mind play all round there, which I'm very aware of, and I'm aware of how it is handled in the States, which is why I'm telling you. You would argue your status, standing capacity in the realm as private, man on the land, beneficiary on the land, and you would say self-governed. You're not saying you're not governed, but you choose. So that sovereign, with reference to the Queen, incredible. The Arctic reference, yeah, with regards to the Antarctic and what we know with Admiralty Byrd. Stargate, that was it. That was another mad thing. They was trying to get back to the timeline that they originated from, the SG-1 team. And she's there, the scientist lady, the one with blonde hair, I forget her name, Carter it might be. And she's there going, oh yeah, I need to look for a sun that's emitting a solar flare. And this guy, Baal, had got a time machine, or not so much a time machine, but a dilation, something, whatever terminology they use for it. And she was scanning the whole of the known universes for suns that was emitting solar flares, because they can be useful for the gravitational pull. And I'm like, where do they do this? Isn't just made up, and some of this stuff, this logic and science, is written, it's depicted thousands of years ago. It's just incredible. So a lot of linking to do just before bed. I've got 4 emails to answer in contact at splspro.com. I've got 30 emails remaining at david@splspro.com. And Greg's done the updates on the .com itself. I've been to see Matthew. I've touched base with everybody that I need to. I do need to speak to Flatboy, Dodgy Doctors. And then tomorrow I'm going to be back in the Monday business trade. That's just really blown my mind. I wasn't expecting any of that synchronicity or familiarity within the historical timeline. My own numbers, it was nearly at, like I say, 1 hour and 13 minutes. Sovereignty, space, pyramids, aliens with symbiotic relationships, to Arctic, Stargate, buried under the ice, possibly Atlantis. Oh wow. The Pyrenees. What is it? The Pyrenees map that depicts the land continent under the Arctic, and we've since finding the Pyrenees map of the 1600s done by somebody, who knows, seafaring. It looks like it was done from above because it's that accurate, but in the 1600s, exactly, much like the Nazca lines, exactly, only beneficial from above. So yes, history and these hidings of the truth of of all of the artifacts, of the finds of the scientists that dare, the archaeologists that dare speak out and bring us the truth, that get besmirched, they get cold shouldered by their colleagues and so forth, and the academics and the trusts and the indoctrination must continue because somebody is usurping our energy and misguiding our energy, our time, our love, our assets, taking us from the original source. And this film, Stargate, is a bit too fucking close to the bone for my liking. When it brings in Egyptians and sacred type things as these serpents and serpents in, I'm like, hang on a minute, just wait 1 minute. It's like you've taken all of the bits of history from the last 200,000 years and decided to make a film, put fractionalized amounts of all of the relevant bits of the 200,000 years, put it into a Hollywood blockbuster to bust your block. But while I had it on in the background, I was typing my emails. I was quite flabbergasted, let me tell you. I had to just stop, rewind, and I've took some video to prove. But I know you take my word as my bond. So Stargate and Continuum. Wow, messages in plain sight. Methinks maybe. Good day to Mark, Tommy, Angela, Lisa. The Night Owls, 13 of you. Nice one. And 3. Hollywood produce in your face, dark truth disguise. Yes, they do, Lisa. Is anybody a Stargate fan? Anybody an Egyptian fan? Anybody seeing what I'm saying? Anybody know of Admiral T-Bird and the Antarctic expedition? What happened? The Nazis knew Swaziland. I know I'm a mind of junk, random information, but it does all have relevant bearing once that you've gone out there and you've fractionalized most of the world's insane stuff. Then before long you can see the direct correlation of history. So yeah, we're not being on all night. I just wanted to come and say to the night scribes, I shit you not, Stargate Continuum has just warped man's mind, very much so. I cannot believe it. And like I say, these numbers are my friend. 2008, 8 and 2, 10. Yeah, great. I don't know what month it came out, but I like to look specifically at everything in detail, and that's probably my downfall. It takes me 5 times as long to do anything, but yes, I'll leave it with you if you could find a copy of for very little cost. I will show you this Chinese TV box. I'm not being racist. It's ordered from a Chinese warehouse direct. It's got Android software. I forget, I'll give you the exact schematics and dimensions. It's got the newest Android operating software, a quad processor chip. It's called a T9 in itself, and it's got possibly over, I don't know, 1,000 channels. So if you are contemplating getting rid of subscriptions and looking at independent open source internet, whatever, then I might just be able to give you a little present. It's all working and set up effectively. It took me 45 minutes to set it up and to download and update and to configure. So yeah, forgive me for not coming on camera. I'm just tired. I'd like to remain in the fog and just give it you the information. So if you've got any of the films that you believe have got such references to true things as, then I would like to hear from it. I will be playing you on a hangout that video of the Zeitgeist and the Venus Project funny, and I will be going through what that bloke does say in that Hispanic whatever it is, Latino interview. If you haven't seen my cast earlier with Brother Matthew in Sheffield, Search for the Zeitgeist Movement and the Venus Project funny, and you will find yourself laughing, and you will thank me. Searching YouTube, that is. All right. So Matthew's good. I had to go and give him some silver water. He's got antibiotics. He's had his mouth lanced up. He's had a lot of invasive surgery. If you didn't see him earlier holding that tennis ball in his cheek, AD, thank you for that comment. Cheeky monkey. Yeah, I just went up to check on him. Man's in a bad way. He doesn't like them places. So yes, well done. Big up to Matt. We hope you get better soon. Thank you for putting up with me for a bit. It was nice to have a coffee with. I hope the silver water does indeed do the magic, as well as a healthy diet, lots of water, lots of salt. When I've mentioned to you chlorine or bleach washed chicken that's coming into the supermarkets for a cheaper price, even stamped up halal that is as well, from reports. I haven't solid evidence, but I'm yet to find some, and when I do I'll be going live and pointing out exactly what it looks like. There is a medical benefit of taking peroxide. What is it now? I need to look into this. I wasn't aware that the human body taking a bleachy type chemical could aid in an antibacterial way. So much like the water that comes out the tap from Severn Trent, Yorkshire Water, etc., Thames Valley, definitely, bleach in the body. So yeah, it may have its advantages, but there are other elements that would act or operate coefficiently on a microbiological level that we could use. So I would like to know anybody that's using these chemicals and compounds, and how and why, and who's promoting them and where they're coming from, because it's a bit like the electric shock therapy, I don't know, what? Insane. So let's look at your comments. H2O2 all the way. Yes, Mark. We use a Cody box. Nice one, Lisa. And that's what they're known as, a Cody box, but they're not Cody boxes. This one is an Android box. It's called a T9. It's got something like 16 gigabyte internal memory on the memory card, and you can put all the apps on it you want. You can edit them. You can put media players, photographs. You catch my drift. It can cast. It's pretty much all singing and dancing for a media box. It's very tiny. Probably the size as a mobile phone, just a bit bigger, like square, double the size of a mobile phone, and square shaped. Yeah, it's very impressive. So yeah, it's corporations. It's time to boycott for our side. Every penny counts. Austerity. Don't make us laugh. Austerity. You print money. House of God's got all the gold. We don't print money, they print credit, sorry, but what else? Any news? Anybody got anything to say? Any questions? Or we is cutting it off? We is done. And I urge you to go and watch Stargate Continuum and get back to man. Give me your comments, let me know. It was a bit like a slap round the face in a wet kipper, but when the word sovereign come up at 4 seconds before 1 hour and 13 minutes, bang on the nose, I just went shiver. A shudder went down my spine, and it was almost like well, the film is 1 hour and 40 minutes, so 20, come on Dave, 27 minutes before the end, which is a good 3/4 of the way into the blockbuster, that came up. So as if I wasn't already on alarm bells and whoop whoop dive, you know what I mean? This is weird, this isn't right, this is weird. Baal is evil. Baal worship. None of you have mentioned anything about Baal or the historical conceptualization you'll have of what Baal worship is: sacrificing horned ones, the ancient Middle East and the demon spirits. I'm not saying the ancient Middle East is them, these people are demons, but there's a lot of historical bafflement about names of things and darknesses and that come from around there. So duality We reckon, yeah, if there's good, there's evil. If there's love, there's hate. If there's light, there's dark. If there's God, there's devil, etc. So it's not so foreign a concept, but um, it's just, it was too much. It was too much, scribes. I feel like I'm on my own now. I do feel like none of you know what I'm saying and the gravitas or um, the conceptualization of what we're saying. It's like they've hidden history for so long, and then the internet's come. I honestly feel that the internet has overloaded me since it's been here. I'm now 41, so 20 years, 19, go back to 2000, a good 25 years, 95. We're talking 97. What year was the internet out? I can't even remember that accurately, but I'm not to be judged on that. That's not a judging point. Just if I say a year and I get it wrong, then that's the point. So I won't say I can't even remember. There's been a lot happening, and I feel that it's 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 too much to handle. It's like a on purpose overload, and in a time of information, ignorance is a choice. Correct. Zeitgeist movement in itself, those words, lest we not forget what miraculous work David, someone is it? David, Roxanne Meadows, and it was Josh. How I found out about Zeitgeist was through the Venus Project and Matthew and Peter, David, somebody worked with Jack Fresco with a woman called Roxanne Meadows. They were doing the Venus Project, and Jack Fresco was like 89 when I found out about him. He was 99 when he died, and he was on the Larry King show in 1973, proposing all of this, crazy things. So, zeitgeist, movements, consciousness. You have a sine wave there, pretending that you're happy. Like I say about vibrations, when I was talking to a few of the brothers in the SPL's fam, in the circle of trust, and I'm talking about serious, deep things and how we all get along in our private ways and the differences and how we handle things and strangers and protection of family and yourself, and how you judge others. And it's not right to judge, but we all, when we meet somebody new, do a little thing called psycho-evaluation. And some of us, when we're in the presence of others, might do a thing called NLP, November Lima Papa, which is called neuro-linguistic programming. Now, to give you an example of that, is this your vehicle? Now, that's a leading question. That's not neuro-linguistic programming, but that's using a language which is a tool as well as your identity. Yes, and it's using a language in a way which is mentally, cognitively set it. Can you tell me what you've done wrong now? Are you enjoying your meal? When you're having a meal, and they set you up for that, so they know what your answer's going to be because they've already given you the question to get the answer they want. So yes, I want you to recognise that it's very deep, it's very intuitive, and you have been tricked. You have been programmed into giving the house answer. So imagine you're playing a game of cards and you're trying to win that game of cards, but the dealer knows all the cards you've got. Well, that's not on, is it? If someone's trying to manipulate and abuse you in a passive aggressive way, what's the best way to do it? Well, the best way to do it is to use psycho-evaluation, neuro-linguistic programming, fear and bullying and harassment tactics. Now, I've never been a master in this, but what I'm saying is you have a relationship with an entity, and that entity is purported to be there for you, and you interact with it, but if you do wrong, that entity will hold you to account. That entity will come for you. That entity will lay claim. But you go and deal with that entity, but you're cautious with that entity. You see what I'm saying? But that entity has a relationship with you, and it keeps you at bay. It doesn't come near you unless you're in trouble. It never says, well done, thank you. Do you know what? This year you've done it. You've done so well. What we're going to do is employee of the year. Next year, you don't pay any tax. We're going to give you a 20 grand bonus. We're going to upgrade your house. We're going to, oh, wow, your vehicle that you travel around in or that you use for work, then therefore we're going to give you a new one of them. Nothing like that at all, no. But as soon as you drop a bollock, as soon as you make a mistake, which they classify, it's not a mistake, it's a criminal offence. What? And off they go. So it has a relationship with all of us, yeah, from birth, from the hospital, from the outlay of the doctors, from the offices, from the council, all of the representatives, the MPs, the House of Lords, the House of Commons, the courts, the news, the puppetry. So this relationship that you're in out there, we're in out there, that's what needs to be adjusted. And back in the day, it looks like they all stuck together. They all had the same way. They had the same way of building. They built the same things with the same blocks. It lasted for thousands of years. We can't even build a building that would last 100 and so years, hundreds of years. After hundreds of years, it starts to degrade. These cathedrals that they're allegedly setting, accidentally burning and setting up new funds and getting them rebuilt. Well, there's millions of homeless out there. But Notre Dame, oh well, we got to fund that. We've got to give that millions straight away. Get that sorted out. The homeless, the starving and whatnot, oh well, they need to know how to talk to the government, talk to the agents, or they will always be have-nots. The have-nots don't know how to speak. And that's not right, because everybody was created equal, and this is the kingdom. God forbid it for me to say, but the kingdom of heaven that's been turned into the kingdom of hell, because much like Stargate Continuum, there are serpentile, usurping, symbiotic relationships called the Club of Rome, and it's Baal worship from back in the day, which is very worrying when you've got the moon and you've got the sun and you've got the horns and you've got the Egyptians, you've got the stories in the Old and the New Testament, you've got such things as the Nazca lines and the evidential publications that have just come out in the last 4 weeks. I wish I could remember his name. And he has got a publication. I think he's English. I'm so sorry to not remember this man's name. I feel shame. And he has done a book that has got. I'm going to say Clive Evans, but it's nothing like Clive Evans. But that's something. When you find it, when you hear of this 100,000 years of Americana history has been omitted from the books, the history books of the academies, and this man has got all the evidence to prove why. I'm like, holy, what, 100,000 years, and that's a minimum, because they couldn't tell you the truth, the truth, because it would have warped what they were indoctrinating us with. So, thank you, Stargate, and the numbers. You got to thank the numbers always. The numbers are my friend, and for me to hear the word sovereign in a film from 2008 in 11 years, yes, that film is old, 11 years old, and I'm sat there at 11:30 writing emails, replying, doing my admin as I should be, getting distracted by Egyptian space gods of eternal time, talking about a sovereign queen, whilst arguing over stargates and who's going to destroy the realm, having internal political battles with the last of the Gua'ul gods called Baal, with the sun and the moon. And I'm just like, hang on a minute now, then you're just having a laugh here, aren't you? You are just having a giraffe. Down south, they'd say, you're having a babble, mate. You're having a babble. He's having a babble, you know what I mean? They're putting it right in your face. And if you think I'm insane, then so be it. But I think the realm is insane from what they've put out there and want us to swallow. Yes, indeedy. Shivai, easy now. That's it. We're going to bed, Jerry. It is bedtime. It's a school night. I'm sorry. Yeah, we've got to get up and do the do until we break out this shizen that we're in. So stand by and watch. Your knowledge and passion and insight is on point, bro. Thank you, Mark. I'd like to show my respect by showing you my face, but I'm too tired and it's bedtime. And yes, I thank you. Much love. And yours is too, because you wouldn't know I had knowledge, or you wouldn't know passion and insight if you didn't have it yourself. So I thank you for having that, to recognise it in me. Hidden to protect, not destroyed by fire. Another ether way, easy. Baal worship in the world. Yes, it is, Lee. So there's so much I can go into, but not now. Bullion, gold bullion, Bulls, bulls, think of that. You know, I've gone into this before too much, but Tauruses, Taurus, toroidal, the Torah is a bull. Yeah, I'm giving you some through my videos, you'll have seen them, and I've got loads of notes written down about these bull and such things as baal. Yes, it's very, very scary how that's gone. Pyramid codes, yes, I've looked. Their videos on YouTube that I've looked at, the pyramid codes, excellent little series. Thanks, Indy. Great info. Been studying Santos. Oh, you'll be there a while studying Santos. I've sent him a message. I'm trying to get a private chat with him. He's messaged me twice last week, and I've missed his messages. When me and Kev was on Friday night, he did message me at 10 to 12 GMT saying he was free, but me and Kev was having a fundamental chat till 2:30. From half up 10 or whatever it was. So I miss Santos to get in touch, but I will line it up, and you will be having more in-depth, hopeful, updates, and we can touch on stuff like this. I'll take questions from you, and now we've had our initial hangout over with, and I'm calm. I can handle a second one and be professional, no problem. Thank you all. The duality of the void. Biological, bios, computers that as well, yes. The realm is what you think. It does take the brain a long time to assimilate what's being put out there. So at some point in the future, if you find yourself coming back and going, aha, don't worry, because I've done that countless times. I've had many things put to me, and for some reason the brain just doesn't want to see it. The penny will not drop. It's just not the time for you to see it. But as soon as you are ready and you go on these journeys, and they're called discovery, disclosure, discovery that you bring on yourself. So I appreciate this is not all everyone's cup of tea, and it's not on everyone's horizon. Here, we're back. Thank you. We have a system, clocks, calendars, time, based on hours, horizon, 12 hours in the day, 12-step program, 12 months in a year, 12 disciples. Okay. So there is a system. There's a unified system, not just of codes and law, but there is of the other side of the realm as well, on the quantum, atomic, subatomic, mathematical, frequency, and it's irrefutable. You cannot say that it doesn't matter. We can carry on and ignore that, because all through time, man has studied. And that's where Santos comes in, because I thought, well, this must be relevant then. Why is it so, these stories can be translated into 7 different ways. Jesus was the fish. The Virgin Mary was Virgo. The end of the time is Pisces, Virgo, Aquarius. And I'm like, okay, the Last Supper is a picture of the zodiac. And you can tell what of the 12 disciples in that Last Supper is what astro is what did I say, zodiac sign. So the calendar, the procession, the Malayans, it's relevant. Satan, Saturn, Santa, Santander, Red Santa, what? Seas, papal seas, spirits, Holy Ghosts, aliens. Too much to be going on with. So we take what's relevant. Relevant is them stars and these numbers and them dates all mean something, Stargates. It's allegedly said that we're that far back that we haven't worked out. We all need to get somehow up and through the sun, and we get to ascend to the next level. This realm of what we're in. It's been reported in a bit of my discoveries that this sun that we have may actually well be the stargates, and that's why there's a lot of stargates and flying old ancient tablets and things, and humming discs and things in the sun, solar flares. I'm like, okay then, well, why has that been hidden from us? because they like to usurp us because we have a symbiotic. David Icke, like I say, at first I was just thinking he was full of shit and he was trying to scare everybody. I'm still half that way. He's been on TV, he's had the limelight, he's done a bit, you know, he can't mock the man, but he could do better. He could bring out a lot more remedy, he could, you know, back shit up a bit more. But anyway, he's on that, he knows, he's telling you. I'm surprised that he's still allowed to go on TV after saying stuff about HRH being a lizard. You know, we've never enforced the royal family and, you know, the monarchy. I hear it's a treasonable offence to deface any of the London banknotes and coins of the United Kingdom currency and tender, because you would be defacing um, a picture of the Queen, a drafting of the Queen. If you did that, it would be a treasonable offence. So by that same respect, if you go out there and say untruths and bad things, besmirch to nature, defamation of character, liable, slander, if you make a claim, you've got to have the proof. He's obviously got the proof because he's made the claim in public and he's not been arrested. You've got the Pope coming out warning Donald Trump to stop the war on the Anunnaki, scribes that have got the capability to open a separate tab. Duck, duck, go, my brothers and sisters. Pope warns Donald Trump, stop war, Anunnaki. Press go, feast your eyes on that recent story. Yes, that's all right, but it's just us. We're just a tiny speck in space, and there's only us, you know. So carry on being a slave. Don't bother thinking about anything. Nothing means anything. You're here by accident. It all started with a big bang. Take these drugs. Keep your head down. If you're not good, we'll soon sanction you. Now crack on. We'll make imaginary borders. They'll ask you for papers. Halt. Stop. Papers. No papers. This way, please. Here's the Red Cross. Much like the Knights Templar. The Red Cross. Your friends. Sorry, I've gone on a tangent, but it's all relevant. Our Shaman, our tribesmen are gone. We're going into a digital concrete jungle. We're building walls to keep ourselves in, having sex with robots. Oh my, no, I'm not. I've got a queen here, but I'm just saying, mankind, what are we doing? What are we doing? Skynet, Tesla, a man that hasn't even been to university, didn't finish school, Elon Musk. Should I say not Tesla? I keep getting, you know, because I associate it with the car brand when I say Tesla. I don't mean the great late, bless him, Nikolai. I'm talking about Elon, I'm a bum, Musk. They've even proven that time and space is pixelated. For those of you out there that understand the space mathematics and the verbiage of pixelated time and space, that's very scary. Very scary. Whilst I was researching Elon Musk, he says there's more proof that we're in a simulated reality than we are in, you know, whatever. So if half of you or any of you believe we might be in a simulation, then let's Dr. Pepper it up. What's the worst that can happen? It's only a simulation. Your program runs out. You know, a few of us have bumped into non-playable characters like that guy on Jumanji that drives them around and they try to have a chat, but they can't get now out of him. A bit like a government agent. When you're talking your rights, they don't understand them. When you're talking money and debts, they don't understand it. And talking to the magistrates, they don't understand law. Nobody does. I wish my grandma was here sometimes. She'd sort it all out. Bob called for a global leader to combat the global warming last week and the UN to implement sustainability programs. Sustainability. I don't like that word. Sustain. Yeah, but still, I get it. Thank you. Elon Musk, lone scum. Tommy, much love. Rock on, Tommy. Yes, I love your tangents. They are all in relation to the truth. I'm sorry, Lisa. It should be turning off the bed. The star of Mary, the star of the sea, thanks to FPV. I've got to catch up with that, Jerry. Yes, Yes, all show the zodiacs. Zodiacs, yeah, and then the words with Orion, and Aries, dictionaries has got the word Aries in it. Even the language, when I look at the words and I'm like, dictionaries, Brother John, the Middleton clan, put some stuff up and I went, look, there's your zodiac reference in your language, diction, Aries, Orion, Horizon. Any questions, any comments, any news you want to talk about? I'm purposely not mentioning Iran because it's bedtime. We'll do that another time. You're all good. Everyone's okay. Matthew, we send you our healing powers. Peace and love. Hope you get better soon. Old big chops. If there's no else to say, I'm going to go peace, love and light. Good night. Stargate continuum. And what can I dream about tonight, I wonder? Going through the Stargate at 113 with the Sovereign and ending up in the Antarctic. Having a fight with Baal. Yes, I. Good night, my lovely scribes. Thank you for your comments. Blessings, peace and love. And we'll see you soon. But